eternal, yeah, zombie, yeah.
But I think he plays better with the tribe because when the zombies die, you get a new zombie, and whenever a zombie at the end of the turn, you get sack a zombie to draw a card. So I think he might play a little bit more with the tribe a bit more, and he is also a zombie than just a draw off, or just a draw off just kind of let you keep casting them. So I think he'd probably be around the same, maybe a little bit higher.
My problem with the zombies that he makes is that they're decayed, and decayed zombies kind of suck.
But yeah, he's also the thing is that's just the zombie that you could also sack at the end of turn if you don't attack or block with it.
Yeah, no, I get it. But usually you're sacking something like another token that's a normal one to make a decayed to get like double value out of it, is like how I'm seeing most people doing it. I still think he's a really good commander, and I guess he still lands in A because zombies making zombies when it dies is still good, I guess, but like there isn't like a crap ton of value that you get out of sacking zombies. Or no, that's a lie, because there's like a million Blood Artist effects.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get yeah. I definitely think he's worse than Jason Gerolf. I think he's worse than Morrowind. I'd probably put him around there.
All right, yeah, he plays well within the deck, but like he's not helping the strat. He's not like a Macias or something.
Yeah,
or like a zombie that gives them all Swamp Walk and Regenerate.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, do we even have to talk about this one?
We know exactly where he
he's
goes.
So good.
Yeah,
he's the best one to ever come out.
Yeah, and I don't think he's overpowered for it either. I think it's very fair and balanced for what the deck wants to do.
Mm-hmm. He's so good. The flipping effect is so strong.
It's exactly what I needed. You know,
it has the perfect colors for it.
Also, another thing I thought that was really interesting of how original werewolves were designed. It's honestly a kind of weird mechanic. So you have a creature-based attack strategy with aggro style because you want them to be big, right? But so you have to play them, hope that your opponent doesn't play anything. If they do, it goes to your turn. You have to not commit to your board anymore and wait for them to flip. And the thing is, if you don't want to attack with them yet because there won't be flipped to the end of the turn. So not only are you missing casting spells in your turn, you're kind of missing out on the whole idea of what the deck wants to do, which is attack. So it just feels really weird in that way.
Oh, Derek, by the way, Immerwolf doesn't stop Daybound, Nightbound.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, it's only the old wolves. Also, if you play one of the old cards that transform werewolves, like, you know, the Fog, it doesn't work on Daybound, Nightbound creatures.
Oh, really?
Yep, that's how they ruled it.
Huh.
So Immerwolf's still kind of good in there then. He doesn't stop the commander, like he can still flip back.
Cool.
I believe that's how it was. We got to look back into it, but that deck is ridiculous. What you could do, like, you know, okay. I had to do it for Mike. Druids. Do you remember Seton? With the druid that steals lands, you remember this deck?
Yeah.
This is a dumb one. Dude, remember, 99% of elves are also druids. Just throw that out there.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically you're playing an elf deck.
Yeah. And there's some really good druids. Like the one that steals lands.
Surprisingly, there are 83 more druid decks than there are ninja decks.
Hey! Because Beast Whisperer is a druid, that's why. Facts. We have the other, but yeah. So...
Tevons have druid control to make 1 green. And the cool thing how that's worded, it's kind of worded like a zombie, so it ignores summoning sickness.
He's kind of dumb. I think I'd put him around here where it's like doing the mana shenanigans, you know?
Yeah.
And I do think that most of the elves are going to play better than your average, like, Hydra deck. Because, you know, the tribe is better. Alright, so allies, Derek. The old food chain boy.
But minusing that because, like, we're not going to worry about...
No, I know. But allies. There is actually a decent amount of allies.
Yeah, we got even more printed as time has gone on. So it's when he enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an ally creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. And for 5 mana, all ally creatures you control get +X plus X, where X is the number of colors among those creatures. So I wish that was worded to equal the number of allies you control, which would probably would have put it over the top, a little bit over the top for me for a better card. But I mean, it does
Yeah.
tutor you an ally, and it makes allies bigger. But
You do get to play them all.
you need to play them all, where X is the number of colors among those creatures. So I guess like at most you're giving allies +5/+5 for 5 mana.
But it doesn't give. It's just a buff. It's not trample or lifelink or anything.
No. And but then
I think I want
allies
to put
have
it
a lot
around
of,
like Magda, where it's like the tutoring and
allies almost somewhat feel like slivers in a sense, where each one of them has their kind of their own effect, and they get it regardless of what other ally comes into play, which is interesting.
They're not insanely strong, but I think around here near
Yeah.
Magda with the tutoring from deck. All right, Eldrazi's. I want to make a statement really quick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna make a statement, and it's gonna feel too real. Allison, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Sorry about that.
All right, I'm just gonna make a statement, really quick. I think that colorless decks are better than mono white.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with me?
That colorless decks are better than what?
Mono white.
Yes, because mono white gets just is the stepchild.
Other than Shram is like the only one. Like, and then Teshar, what's the Teshar?
Teshar.
The one that does the historic loops. Those are the only
Which
two.
is basically an artifact deck, so basically a colorless deck with white.
Yeah, it's basically exactly.
And Stram is basically a artifact
I'm gonna
deck
make
with white.
the debate.
Schnorn.
Schnorn is not that great because you have to play a 7-mana spell in white. And a lot of the white ramp spells are ass because they require your opponents to have more lands.
So you just have to play artifacts, so you're basically playing colorless.
Yeah, and like the artifact, like, it's never that amazing. And the recursion's really bad. Like, it doesn't play its own color well. Like, it doesn't even know what it wants to do.
White is the best support color.
Yeah, no, blue is the best support color.
Well, blue
Green
blue can stand on its own.
Oh, you mean like another color? Green is the best support color, Derek.
Green can also stand on its own, though. It don't need to be.
But we're not talking. But we're just talking about like green and blue make everything better. But I honestly think most of the Eldrazi commanders and most of the colorless commanders are better than every single white commander ever printed, other than Shram and Teshar.
Tom, you know why Kozilek's better? Because it says draw cards when.
Allison, do you agree with me? That colorless decks are better than white decks. Mono white only. You do agree, actually?
Yes.
Because I honestly think that most Eldrazi, like Eldrazi's, I put high up on the tier list for tribes also because they have a lot of really dumb effects. I think I put them like 7th or 8th. They were definitely in top 10. I don't remember like where I put them on scale because the thing is Dinosaurs has actually kind of moved up recently. Like originally Dinosaurs wasn't doing anything, and then when Ixalan came out, my god, Dinosaurs does some shit. And I ended up putting Dinosaurs like I think above Eldrazi or like right below it or something. And I think most of the colorless commanders are just easier to do what you want to do, and you get to play a lot of just like the good colorless stuff. Because the funny thing is, the ways that you're going to draw on white are colorless anyway, so it's basically the same deck with a much, much, much better commander.
So, but Kozilek now.
Eldrazi.
Is he though? Because looking at his spec, what does he do for Eldrazi?
It's just the one that they play, really. Like, most people play Morphon. I know, but like...
The thing is, we have a lot more colored Eldrazi than we have colorless, which is the weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
I know that.
Like because he's the easiest to make.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So, like, as a commander, like, if we want to talk about just what he does for the Eldrazi tribe, he doesn't do anything for it. He is
Yeah,
good
no.
enough on his own. So I would actually, as an tribal card, I would put him in D. He is a good card, and if we were talking about him and the deck itself, way different story.
Yeah.
But like,
All right. No, I totally agree with you.
like Conduit of Ruin as a creature is better as an Eldrazi commander than Kozilek is, because he's the one that makes them cost less.
But he's not legendary, that was the
Exactly.
Mhm.
So Omnath, the Locust of the Royal. So see, actually,
Elementals.
so he has tribal
He's
elementals, but
so good.
he is also kind of tribal landfall because you have to put a counter on an elemental, so you can still just do it on himself. But the top part though, he deals damage.
But do
to
you
the
know what a
target.
lot of elementals do though? They
Yeah.
put lands into play.
And whenever he enters the battlefield, you deal damage to target equal to the number of elementals you control. So that's where it kind of comes in. So yeah, I think he's again one of those cards where the tribe makes him better, and then after he's in play, he makes the tribe better. So it's kind of like this nice in between. So I think you.
I think B.
So yeah, because I think he's just a little bit above that, but he's not like making them great because he only makes the tribe better when you play lands. If you don't have any more lands to play, he was cool when he entered.
But it's Teamer, and you get to play Risen Reef. So Derek, are you ever really gonna miss lands with Risen Reef instead of Carven
I mean, it could
Derek,
happen.
you know the enchantment that makes elementals, right? When you play a land. Okay, you know how that works with Risen Reef. Okay, yeah. Kumeta,
so
the Merfolk god.
Yeah, I've honestly, if Merfolk were a little bit better, which I think we're slowly getting there, I really like him and I like his abilities. So whenever Merfolk you control, tap another tap Merfolk makes him unblockable. Tap 3 and tap Merfolk you control, draw a card. Tap 5 on tap Merfolk, put a +1 counter on each Merfolk you control. It's a lot of really cool things for Merfolk.
Talking about tribal, helping with the tribe, this is about as good as it fucking gets.
Yeah.
So it's got to be an A tier. Because the thing is Merfolk aren't good enough to get into S. But as far as like doing shit for the tribe, it lands like right around here for me. But considering that I think these are slightly more powerful, I think I'm going to put it there. And I think it is better than this still. Or, no, I think Kadeena's still better. Yeah, okay. Zakama, a dinosaur boy.
But he does nothing for dinosaurs. He untaps lands and he burns damage. Like, I think I might put him next to Kozilek, where as a card, he is redonkulously good. As a tribal card, I mean, he's just there.
That's exactly what I would have said, Dirk.
Yeah, he's not really doing anything. Okay, this is Allison. This is the best tribal commander of all time.
Is that the Sliver Queen?
Overlord.
Overlord.
Yeah, the Queen is the one that gives them. That's the coat of arms right there. Queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Overlord. This is Wooburg.
No.
3 mana.
No, Tom, Sliver Queen is the 2 mana. You make a 1/1 Sliver. So if you have a lot of mana, you make a ton of 1/1s, and that's what makes her.
Well, yeah. Well, that one combos like crazy, but you could just tutor Sliver Queen in this. But Overlord is 100 times better. So, 3 mana. Search your library for a Sliver, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. 3 mana, gain control of target Sliver. Busted. So the problem with this card, I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's one thing tutoring in other tribes, but tutoring in this tribe, you go Morphon, tutor, the first Sliver, play the first Sliver for free, cascade, tutor the Sliver Queen, cascade. And then Sliver Queen just wins with Gemhide Sliver and the one that lets you sack them for black. Because Gemhide Sliver, you tap for a mana, and then you sack, then the one that's black lets you tap. Also, there's now 3 that give haste. There's 2 that when they enter or die, they deal damage. From Modern Horizons, they printed a bunch of new, more busted ones, like the ones with flying, and they're very low costed. There's that black Sliver that lets you sack them to make 2 black. So with Sliver Queen, you get to make infinite 1/1 ETBs. So all your Slivers that have effects when Slivers enter, you just win. And if they have haste, you just win anyway. Because it's 2 mana to make one. So you tap it off Gemhide to make a mana and stack it for 2 black. And you just win. So considering that the commander just wins, and Slivers are dumb, and Morphon's a card, I feel like this is like the best tribal commander of all time, like period.
Is sounds pretty good.
Again,
Yeah.
so the reason why I think it is where I agree with Tom here. So slivers all are every sliver has its own unique effect that buffs all over slivers. The sliver overlord doesn't have any base effects to give other slivers. It just finds the ones that you need. So like, hey, my opponent has an issue, or even if you don't have like the shenanigans, say you just want to play like a value sliver game, you're like, okay, well, I want to protect my slivers because I have a lot of opponents that have shenanigans, so let me play this. Or my opponents have gone wide, let me get the sliver that can only be blocked, make slivers blocked by other slivers. And it is basically your ultimate. Imagine having a demonic tutor for what you need as a creature.
Also, randomly having to take your creatures back matters. Like, it just randomly has that effect thrown in just for... Because if you took the bottom effect off, this is still the best tribal commander of all time. But just randomly having a homeward path slapped on there... Because like I said, the problem is that there's slivers that give haste, they tap for mana, they all cast each other. They're basically elves, but 10 million times better in a 5-color deck with an easier win condition. Like, either they're jamming for 1 million damage, blowing up all your permanents, making infinite slivers, and jamming for 1 million damage. Like, pick your poison. Like, they literally get to do it all. Flying indestructible. They can have poison. Like, they literally have almost every mechanic in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have their own Beast Whisperer, but it gives them Defender, funny enough. They have a Cavern Harpy effect, which is kind of fucking stupid. Because the Cavern Harpy Sliver saves them, and then, like, you know, you get to just replay them. So if you have a Gemhide Sliver, you can just, like, infinitely replay if, like, you know, you can make enough mana. Like, it's kind of really, really dumb. Like, there isn't a better tribe at all. Hands down. Like, they contend with dragons in the air by how big they get. Especially because, like I said, all you do is you tutor Morph on, you play, like, any of the 5-color... Do you know... Between the first Sliver Hive Lord, what's the Sliver coat of arms? What is that one called?
Sliver Legion.
Sliver Legion, right?
And
Sliver Queen. You get to play all 5 of those for free. Like, stupid. Best tribal commander of all time. And here we go to a tribe that's trying so hard. Satyrs.
It's not a tribe, but for
It's
what
not.
it tries to do, it gives them a +1 and haste, which is kind of nice. Whenever you attack with 3 or more creatures, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. It's cute. It's a card.
It's trying. I think it's
I mean,
at least doing satyr things, you know?
Yeah, which is they're kind of like chaotic party animals.
So, like, maybe around there. Or, like, C, maybe.
I think C. I don't think it does enough for, like... Because a lot of satyrs, like, aren't very... Their satyr effects are kind of all over the place. You have, like, a milling sliver that gets you lands. You have an attacking sliver... satyr. You have one that just, like, deals with enchantment. Like, their effects aren't very unified for, like, they feel like a tribe.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
You have Voyaging Satyr, which untaps a land. Then Careless Celebrant. When it dies, deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Then Boon Satyr, Flash, Bestow. It's just a 4/2, or a enchanted creature gets a 4/2. Or Satyr, Hedonist. 1 red, sack it to make 3 red. Like, they're all really small, and they all have kind of very different effects. Like, there's no unifying theme behind them.
Yeah, I agree. Now, Sapperlings, on the other hand, actually really good. There's a lot of good Sapperling cards, old Sapperling cards, that have never gotten good play until Slimefoot came out. So whenever a Sapperling you control dies, you get to deal 1 damage, which, by the way, it's saying damage is so relevant, because what do you get to do since it says damage? And then you gain 1 life. And then you pay 4 to make a green Sapperling creature token. What does that mean? Because it says damage, Derek. What does that mean?
That you trigger damage effects?
Yeah, like Keen Sense.
Oh, right.
Or Basilisk Collar. Or Shadow Spear. And now you're gaining 1 billion. Like, or, even better, Tainted Strike.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's gross. Alright, put him in A.
But even so, the
No.
slivers are actually really good because they all sack tokens
No.
to have effects happen. If you look at some of the old slivers, they play really well with token generating, and a lot of them make mana or give minuses or draw cards. Like, they actually do a lot. Like, Slivefoot does a ton. I'd probably put him, like, around here.
You know what's kind of funny that I'm thinking about, though? I like how they work with Sapperlings, but a lot of the best Sapperling cards are fungus.
Or
creatures.
fungus. Yeah, fungus, yeah. It's technically like a fungus tribal, but they make Sapperlings, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's technically fungus tribal. Alright, Arcades, Defender tribal. Broken. Do we even have to talk about it?
Yeah. I mean, it's technically not... I guess it's Defender tribal. It isn't really a tribe, but I guess you kind of can put, like, walls and
Yeah, if we considered Morph, you know, I'm kind of...
Yeah.
You know, I'll let... Because if Mutate, like, if any of the... I guess I should have put Ramos on here, because people play him as the Mutate commander. But, you know, okay, so continue, yeah.
We're saying, so yeah, so as that, like, yeah, it draws them card, it lets them able to do damage, which is kind of like, if you're looking at them as a tribe, they're usually big butts that don't do anything except block. Now he lets you draw cards with them, and also lets them do damage. So, yeah.
He also has Flying and Vigilance, you're in Bant. There's also combos with them because they tap for 1,000,000 mana. And there's the other cards that work off Defender. Also, cards that were never meant to be played with creatures, like 2-mana spells that give +0/+7.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, Assault Formation, or like, you know, Defender creatures were never balanced to be able to attack. So they're all really good. A lot of them are really good. And like, you know, there's like 0/13s, and like, you know, they get huge because like, it was never meant to be able to attack. So, like, going back, like, it was never balanced for that. And then the best part of the deck is being able to play those stupid board wipes that target 0. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, target a creature's power and then deals damage to everything that's higher.
Yep.
Like, those are the most one-sided bullshit board wipes in Commander. Like, other than the Changeling deck. Insanely strong, the amount you get to draw. Insanely strong. And a lot of them draw themselves, or tap for mana, or, like, give them... Like, there's also Lords. Like, it's actually really good, believe it or not. The deck's really good. Defender creatures are cracked. Okay, this is also... It's gonna land with, like, the Kozilek, where it's not...
Yeah, it's just value. Like, it doesn't say anything with any tribe. It just gets you random cards in your hand.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Get brass. All right, let's talk about the failed pirate. You know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Pirates aren't big enough or scary enough to be attacking every turn. Giving them additional +1/+. Now, if she said pirates you control get +1, maybe she was more like a pirates get +1/+1 for each other pirate you control. Then maybe, or
yeah. She's not very good, but she's still doing the pirate thing.
Yeah, the thing is, still people play her as the pirate commander because it's the best we got.
So probably like around B. Just because she's still doing pirate things.
As
we're like, yeah, these are like, you know, not doing the, like, you know, what the tribe is really doing. It just kind of does its own thing, you know? Okay, so this is Merfolk.
Well, I guess she's not really a Merfolk card. She's just... One of those things is a value card that can be put in anything that has a lot of creatures. You can put it with a bunch of Merfolk and draw a bunch of cards, but she doesn't do anything for the Merfolk.
Yeah, so I guess another one that
she's like one of those
here.
big cards down there that's just a good payoff, but it doesn't really matter what she's in. I mean, Tom, we put her in like just random budget decks to draw a bunch of cards.
Mm-hmm. All right, Anawan.
Now that is 100% really good for rogues.
Mm-hmm.
It was built for rogues, designed for rogues, and it feels like a rogue card. Where you get in the exile stuff, you get the draw, you get the mill stuff, you get the draw cards, and you make them bigger. And because now he's where he's different from pirates, where that most rogues are either unblockable or have evasion, so that a little bit of +1/+1 really does help them. And honestly, there's some random rogues that actually have a kind of a butt. Like you'll have like a 1/3 or a 1/2.
Also, an Ocean Thief.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you get to play the thing that makes them unblockable, but I think I'd probably put this back. Probably him somewhere around here. Probably top of B. Maybe like bottom of A?
Maybe. I think I don't know. I think he may be a little bit better.
Considering that a lot of rogues are unblockable.
Like a lot. There's honestly more than you could fill an entire deck with. It just comes.
But
down
the
to
thing
best
is,
one.
they have to hit like a creature to draw, right?
But remember, they mill for their power. So if you hit with like, you can still draw 2 to 3 cards. If you don't hit, it's fine. But I think he does enough. Like I have very rarely have not hit with rogue hits. And I think he works really well for rogues. Maybe he's not like amazing, but like.
I think I could put him there. All right, this I think is just gonna fall around here again.
He's a landfall commander. Let's be honest.
But people still play these as like Merfolk, Dinosaur, Eldrazi, Elemental, Tree Folk.
Because like I said, the
they
tribe
don't have better options really for what they want to do.
And because the tribe can make them better. And Gishath,
my boy.
Put him
oh my god,
he's S tier.
He's so good.
He puts dinosaurs into play. Dinosaurs want to be attacking. He's huge.
Also, like talking about like how good dinosaurs have gotten, especially since Ikoria gave us like an update on dinosaurs and printed a bunch of dumb ones. Like, dinosaurs are really dumb. Like, if you go and read Zakama, like a lot of them are really dumb. Like Atali, which has a really high play percentage in Commander. 1, because he's really cheap, and 2, because he's fucking broken. Like, that is a dinosaur. Regal Behemoth, what we were talking about earlier, that is a dinosaur. Like, there are some really insanely strong dinosaurs that just murder people. Double slapping, no napping. A lot of the avatars are just really strong. Like, I'm sad I don't get to play my boys at Tulpa. But, Or Nekazar? No. What's the blue one? Zatalpa? Is it Zatalpa?
No, blue is Nezahal.
Nezahal. Yeah, Nezahal. I wish I could play Nezahal. And the black one's ass. But, like, the white one's really good, like it's a board wipe. Also, the enrage mechanic, the tribe plays itself. How many times have I played this deck, hit, like, I've had that red creature out, or like the Marauding Raptor that like deals 2 to an enraged creature, and then like some stupid enrage loop happens where like I'm able to exile most people's creatures. Also, there's combos with just landing with Gishath because of Polyraptor and any of the creatures that deal damage. Like, you can make infinite Polyraptors. And a lot of the enraged creatures, like, the dinosaurs play really well with it because there's a couple dinosaurs or creatures that deal damage to all your creatures. So, like, plus if your opponents have to block, the enrage is going to happen anyway. And then remember that random guy that got printed in a commander deck? The 10-mana dude that when he enters, he fights things?
Yeah.
And then he has enrage, so you could just keep fighting until you want to stop?
It's the...
Apex Altasaur?
Yeah, it's one of those Altasaurs.
Yeah, man, like what a deck. And then like, there's dinosaurs that there's a white dinosaur that gives them all double strike. There's a white one that gives them can give Gishath flying that I play. And then I just pair it with anything with double strike and hitting for like 14 and like a Xenaghost. And the thing is I don't think I want to play that new enchantment because I think 4 green is a little much in a 3-color deck. That's a little rough. I think that card's going to be really hard to cast. Like, almost impossible for a deck that's not playing Chromatic Lantern or any way to fix lands like that. Like, I mean, I am playing land ramp, so, like, I can get 5 green, but the problem is there's a lot of, like, triple red, double white, triple white spells in the deck, so, like, I can't just always get green. Like, it's not going to work, So, like, as much as I do want to play that card, I just can't really. Like, Xenaghost is fine for now. Because all I really need to do is hit with Gishath anyway. And then also, like, Quartzwood Crasher, like one of the dinosaurs that they printed in Ikoria. The one that says whenever you deal trample damage to a player, you make that big of an XX dinosaur equal to the amount of damage dealt. Like, what a dumb card. It's so dumb.
But yeah, so I think
love it.
That's the whole list, right?